Welcome to Break Speed.
I'm Luke.
I'm Rob.
And we're proudly sponsored by our empty wallets. Nothing.
We've got a load of really ambitious car plans and not many of the skills to make it happen.
No, but we'll take you along with us to show you what works.
And what doesn't.
And hopefully show you how to do some stuff.
And I imagine how not to do a bunch more.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Maybe.
Let's go. This episode, we're introducing our new long-term project car.
When we say long-term, it's very long-term. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, we mean it.
Yeah.
We'd like to do a nice, flashy intro scene with lots of action shots.
Yeah, but it's this car's proved quite difficult.
I think we've come up with an elegant solution, though.
Yeah, I'd say so. So as you can see, we've got our work cut out. It's quite a lot to do, isn't there?
So this is our 1992 Nissan 200SX S13.
Or, if you're in Japan, a 180SX.
Or America, a 240SX.
It's called all the names.
Or if you play Forza.
Yeah. Yeah.
You find out you get kids a lot. Oh man, that's a sick 240SX, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah.
I had a similar thing actually with a guy when I put my stoop clip on my Civic. He said he had one on his 240SX, and then followed it up on Forza.
Okay.
All right.
At least he admitted it. Like, yeah. I got one on my 240SX. Have you, mate? You bought a left-hand drive one with a worse engine.
Yeah.
Seems fairly unlikely, but sure.
There we go.
So as a UK car, it comes with a CA18 DET, which is a 1.8 16 valve, as it says on the back. Turbo.
Retro sticker.
Pushing out a mighty 169 brake horsepower.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think start note 60 is like 7.5 seconds or something.
Yeah.
We tested it, didn't we?
We did.
On the original old tyres and wheels.
The old Pirellis, were they Pirellis?
Pirelli P6000s,
That's it,
or
yeah.
ditch finders, in the wet. And I still did like, it was 8.5, 9 seconds. It wasn't quick.
No.
Anyway, it's a good base. They're hugely popular. It's rear-wheel drive. It's got pop-ups.
Yeah, everyone loves pop-ups.
Everyone loves pop-ups. And it's the Bolton kit. There's Bolton parts for every discipline for this. Like whatever you want to do, someone's done it. It's just easy to work on.
The scene's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
For S13.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, you already know what this is.
Yeah.
Probably. You're like, yeah, it's a 240SX or 4, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not now. But
yeah, there's no way I can say good now. So I picked up this car in about 2013 off a family friend, and it was pretty much stock and in really quite good condition.
It was, yeah. I think he took care of it, but it's none of those things now, is it? Really? So what happened?
So yeah, when we got it, to be fair, it was sat up because the dampers were worn out. They're the 20-year-old original dampers, so it wasn't really surprising.
Yeah.
When we picked it up, though, it also developed a misfire. So to get it through the MOT, we slammed on some coilovers.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't slam the car though.
No, we didn't.
Pretty sensible.
We just put the coilovers on, didn't we?
And the misfire was that it had a super chips stage 1 ECU. It wasn't just a single chip like the more modern EPROMs, it had like loads of stuff on it, and one of the bits was like falling off, and every time it dropped off it cut the fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so we sorted that out, got MOT, we're rolling around, but
it wasn't great. It wasn't fast.
It was so slow.
We got overtaken by what looked like a standard A3 TDI.
Uphill, I was like, aha, I'll show this guy, and he just...
Yeah. And that's nothing against people who tune TDIs.
But this wasn't tuned. This is some old boy like in his 5-door TDI,
like
just driving home.
2003 plate TDI. Yeah. Just it was so casual the way we went past as well. It's just like
it's quite embarrassing.
It was.
Turned out that there was a problem. To be fair to it, I reckon it was pushing out like 100 brake max.
Yeah, it didn't feel great.
No.
You felt cooler though.
Yeah. Oh, you felt like a boss, but you had to make sure people knew you weren't racing.
Which is quite hard in a car like that.
Yeah. Basically, the cam angle sensor is keyed off the end of the exhaust cam, and the cog wears out. At the time, it just wanders, does what it wants, and obviously that's not great for making power.
No.
It's probably not great for, we're lucky it didn't debt really.
Yeah.
But we replaced the cam angle sensor and all was well, and it was a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it was still not great, was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't wasn't what I thought it would be.
No.
We got a bit more involved.
Yeah, so we did a 5-stud swap,
Yeah.
which meant new wheels, which was quite nice.
Yeah, and new brakes.
And new brakes, stuck Evo brakes on the front and Z32 300ZX brakes on the back, little twin pods. And stuck a front mount on it as well. But it was still...
Not quite enough.
No. When I just come from my 306 that had like a supercharger conversion, that was only like 260 brake.
Yeah.
The S13 stage 1, I can't remember what we didn't turn it up all the way either because it was on the original T25 and we didn't want to push our luck basically.
Yeah. We never knew what it was running.
No, at no point has it been dynoed by me, so these are all made up figures in our heads basically.
Yeah.
So it's still a little bit slow, so we stage 3'd it.
Went straight to stage 3.
Yep, which is a chip, a Z32 MAF, some upgraded injectors, and a T28 off an S14.
Yeah.
Although I used the ball bearing version off an S15 for like better spool. And I made a bit of a mistake there because I was going to go for like a slightly bigger turbo, like a 2871 or something. But reading around, everyone was like, nah, stage 3 on the T28, you're like, blow your mind, like it's really fast. And it was alright.
It was alright. And then we were turning the boost up, weren't we? And we were driving up and down the same bit of road. Just slowly.
Stopping in the lay-by, just like, we're being quite cautious, we're a bit worried.
We were, yeah.
Makes quite a big difference, doesn't it? Like 0.1 of a bar is quite a...
It was quite surprising actually, but it still wasn't enough.
No. I mean, so stage 3 is anywhere between like 250 and 300 brake, I think, at the flywheel this is as well, because that's how we measure brake horsepower over here.
Yeah.
It's made up numbers. Then we found a kooky kit,
Yes.
because I think that's one of the best looking kits for these, to be honest.
You can't go wrong with a kooky kit. Guy was a douche.
It was a bellend.
Absolute idiot.
We agreed to sell, I paid him the money, and then he's like, actually my new kits can take like 8 weeks to make. And that's a cool story, but we've already agreed to pick this up next week. Then he's like, and I need the like the indicator, like the side lights to go on my new bumper, so you can't have those. Well, mate, I've already paid you for like, we've agreed. Like,
Yeah.
it's not yours anymore. He's like, I can just sell it for more money anyway, so.
Yeah. So we drove there, didn't we? 3 hours.
It's like 3 hours away.
And then 10 minutes before we got there,
Yep.
he messaged you to say, can you give me another couple of hours because I haven't even started taking the kit off.
We're 10 minutes away. Been on the road for 2 hours, like, nearly 3 hours.
Yeah.
So we just sat there and watched him take this kit off.
We weren't going to help.
And like, it wasn't his house, and like a bunch of random blokes turned up.
Smell weed.
Stank of weed.
It was really dodgy.
Yeah, but we got the kit.
I left my keys.
Oh, fuck. We stopped at a little cafe because we'd had a rough morning, yeah? So we had like I can't even remember, like a fry-up or a toasty or something.
Breakfast thing.
And then there was roadworks on there, so we're on like
It took
one
us
of the motorways.
ages to get on the motorway.
Yeah.
Absolutely
and then like,
ages.
what, 40 minutes into this traffic jam?
Yeah, and I'm just like, looking in the door pocket, can't find my keys. Yep, turns out I left them on the table in the cafe.
Which closed in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So we had to phone them up and say, look, can you...
Thankfully, the cafe had a really obscure name. I can't remember what it was now, but I remember.
Well, imagine if it was just like roadside caf or something.
Yeah.
You never got your keys back.
No, and that was keys to everything: my house, my car, literally everything.
So you got the kit back.
We got the kit, and it was looking good. We got the kit on.
We did get the kit on. The car was looking all right.
Oh yeah.
We started the UK spec rear bumper on, and like some of the black strip that goes around was still on, some was off. The wheels were a bit ratty. I think it had the stretch tyres on at that point as well.
I think they had budgets, didn't they?
I did when I got it, but they were really chunky. But I think this was after we swapped to they were too skinny. I was in all stancy pants. I mean, to be fair, once I swapped the JDM bumper on, it was looking
good.
pretty good.
So it doesn't really explain how we got here,
No,
does it?
not quite.
What did you do?
Well, I hit a hair. We come back late one night and like hair jumped out and like smashed the splitter, my genuine bumper, my kooky indicator.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but that's not what happened, was it? That did happen, but that's not what's led to this, really, was it?
I a little bit crashed it into a field.
A little bit.
A little bit. I was trying to pioneer off-road drifting.
You mean rally driving?
Yeah, I guess it has already been invented.
It doesn't work with lowered.
It really doesn't, as it turns out.
No.
So I was in a bit of a rush to get home. It was like absolutely chucking it down, getting all the excuses out right.
Yeah, just start your stancy tyres on.
I did have stancy tyres on, they were getting quite low. They're legal, right, to be clear, officer. they were legal, but they were getting a little bit low. So I made it around all the corners, and I was heading uphill on a straight bit of road, and I thought, what's the worst that can happen?
A3 TDI's behind him at this point.
Yeah.
It's showing him up now.
Yeah, these days. So I floored it up the hill, and as it came on boost, I hit this like big patch of standing water I hadn't seen, and just pirouetted.
Yeah.
I did like a full-on 360 into the field, well, more than a 540.
A long time, wasn't it?
The crash took so long, I got bored. Right? It started going, I was like, no, what is going on? And I was like, come on. Seriously. And then when it eventually started, I took my hands and feet off, I was just like, no point breaking, it's a ploughed field.
Something's going to happen now.
And then it stopped, and I stared at the bonnet for a full like 30 seconds, just waiting for it to just go up in flames. All right, go.
Yeah, just like Homer Simpson's gone.
Just like, I was just waiting, just to... Didn't happen. We got to spend the rest of the night traipsing around soaking wet fields looking for the farmer.
He was none pleased when you found him.
Oh my god. So, but to be fair, so I phoned the police because there's a car sat in a field. I said, look, crashed my car, I've got the landowner's details, I'm going to give him a ring in the morning, blah, blah, blah. They then went to the car at 1:30 in the morning, like 3 or 4 hours after I left it, actually probably more than that, and then went to the farmer's house and woke him up. So no wonder he's like, actually not only some bellend crashed into his field, but he got woken up in the middle of the night. So I mean, he charged me quite a lot of money to pull the car up. Oh, he had me by the nuts, really. Getting pulled out of a field, backwards, by like this big 4-wheel tractor thing, onto an A road on a weekend, I don't think I'd recommend it.
No. I don't recommend the whole experience.
All of it was bad, and I got pulled out into the road, and because it was just caked in mud, the brakes didn't work because the wheels weren't turning. I was just sliding down the road. So he starts pulling me, and then he stops to turn across the road, and I just carried on. And like the handbrake's on, my foot's on the brake, and I'm just sliding towards this tractor. I was like, I'm going to crash. I'm going to crash again.
So you're drifting again?
Yeah,
attempting that drifting
I was
again.
drifting. Luckily, he just started moving before I got to him, and just...
It's had a lot happen to it.
Yeah, I was not even really finished.
But it doesn't end there.
No, so we
more.
repaired it. I mean, there was mud.
Oh, literally everywhere. It was all in the chassis rails.
Yeah, because I did a full, because I went all the way around, and the chassis rail was open, so it just like loading a cannon, just
It got like stuck everywhere, didn't it? Stuck in calipers.
Yeah, in the calipers, like between the calipers and the wheels are all gouged. Everywhere in the engine, like everywhere.
Everywhere you can think there'd be mud, there was mud. And then we just kept finding it everywhere.
But we did get it back on the road. Like, got the kit repaired. There's still like a big old dent in the back. So yeah, it was a bit ratty. Like, it had fresh wings on it because they got wrecked. The bumper was repaired, but it had the whacking great dent, and still, like, if you looked too closely anyway, you'd find mud still. Like, you open the bonnet and there's just like stones.
Yeah, and then when you drive off, just a bit more mud would fall off.
Yeah, and like, you clear them all out, and then you open the bonnet again, there's like stones. Like, how have you got back there? About that time, it had an MOT and failed horrendously.
Yeah.
On rust.
Everywhere.
You know.
It wasn't like a little bit.
No, the biggest thing is like the driver's floor pan was basically about to fall out.
It wasn't on.
Yeah,
like to Flintstones it.
Yeah, legit. Like, there was a big old hole under the pedals by the time you poked it out. The seatbelt bolt was like bolt rust. He sent me a photo. I was like, "What's all that grey?" He was like, "The workshop floor."
That's a lot of rust.
Yeah, that cost a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
But I thought, at least it's all sorted. It wasn't. We'll come back to that when we get there.
And then you thought, what would be sensible now?
I thought, I'd put it in a field with somewhere between 250 and 300 brake. Why don't we nearly double that?
Yes.
Yeah, saw a forged SR setup.
Drop in.
Yeah. We don't have much luck with sellers, do we?
We don't. That was an awful drive. I didn't lose my keys.
No.
And the engine was already out.
The engine was already out, but like, he cut the loom, and he was adamant that like it wouldn't have come out in one, and it was just a bit more difficult than it needed to be. But eventually we got it in. It was all a little bit janked.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cable ties, and it did work, and it was fairly quick.
It was quite quick. We blew some boost pipes off.
Yeah.
And then ran them over.
Yeah, one did bounce under the car, and then someone else ran it over.
And we found it in a field. Hedge.
A hedge. Yeah, we found every bit of it, to be fair. Like 2 bits of silicone, all the clips, the dented pipe.
It was squished. It was, I feel sorry for that person's tyres.
But then we got some custom boost pipes made that stayed on the car. And to be fair, it was pretty good fun.
Yeah.
But it still looked, the whole thing was a bit janky, you know? There's still the damage on it. And yeah, the SR was just like smashed in, like basically cable tied in.
It really was.
And then at the next MOT, the MOT man said, look, you got some rust starting that it's borderline for now, but you're going to have to start looking at this soon. So we took it off the road and thought, look, we'll get all this stuff sorted.
Yeah.
And then it just sat there for the next 6 months probably.
It's quite a while. It was just, yeah.
And then we actually, a friend of mine died, and he was well into like his Japanese cars, particularly S13s, and they're having a memorial meet for him, and then a convoy. So we thought, well, got to at least try and be there. So we got it scraped through the MOT, like bare minimum pass. Went down for this meet. It was really nice to be fair, but that did cause another slight problem.
Yes, again.
I think there was a memorial rev off and the engine was fairly cold. That probably started it. And then there's the convoy. And yeah, I hadn't driven the car in a while, and it was quite nice to have it out. I wasn't expecting to. And at various points there's people like videoing the convoy going past. Yeah, you can probably see where this is going. I didn't put it in the field.
He didn't crash it, and he didn't hit her.
No, we got to a tunnel and someone was filming. And there's a Type R in front of me, fairly new one, and he sort of went through the tunnel like, bah, 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 bah. I was like, hold my beer, kind of thing, you know. Floored it from nearly a standing start, span the rears up. There was a big old bang, and I was like, oh, that sounded pretty cool. It was a big flame. Lifted off, and it was running on 3. I thought, oh, maybe it's just a core pack. Maybe it's going to come back. It's fine. Didn't come back. I wasn't fine. Pulled over, and yeah, if you know anything about SIs, you probably know what I found. It threw a rocker on, because that's what they do. So that was the end of that, really.
Yeah. And then there's more drama. With
yeah. I phoned the AA, had cover. I thought, okay, this sucks, but at least we can get home. I said, look, the engine's broken. I tried to explain what it was, but you know, the person on the phone didn't know that much. I said, look, it won't start, and it is lowered. I need a flatbed. And they said, yeah, cool, no worries. An hour later, a van turns up, obviously. Guy jumps out and he's like, right. So yeah, I showed him the rocker arm. I was like, mate, it's done.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can't start it?
As you've got a piece of the engine.
Literally, like, the cam cover's off and I'm there with a bit of broken engine. No, mate, it won't start. And he's like, well, I can't tow that. You need a flatbed. Yeah, I know. 2 hours later, the flatbed turns up, and like, to be fair, that guy was absolutely golden. We had a great chat, but come on, like 3 hours. I told you exactly what I need.
I bet they're like, you don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that pretty much brings us up to where we are. We just
literally just took everything off.
Shall we look around and talk about our plans?
Yeah.
So there's plenty of rust to tackle. I thought I'd show you some of the highlights. There's a few bits that we've already done, so we put some patches in. But you can probably see like around the tow hook is still pretty crusty. There's plenty of crust about the place. Side fairing hinge as well. We'll go through how that happened on the other side. And then you can see like so this is the big lot of welding that I was talking about getting done. It was like all around here and all the way back. So you can see like all from here backwards. It was all plated up. But as you can sort of see there, MOT welding is not the same as restoration welding, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But essentially it means the rust is still there, just hidden. This is a nice feature. It's got a sunroof, it's got 4 drain pipes here out of each corner so the water comes down. This has had some work done to the arches before and the sills, and they welded straight through one of the sunroof drains. That then stopped about here, and then has spent the last like 10 or so years just sprinkling water down inside the sill, which has probably contributed to this. That, right there, that thing flapping around, that's the bottom of the B pillar, which I feel like you want to be attached. And like it's bubbly all the way up, it's knackered at the back, yeah, we need to put new sills on. And then again, we've already put some more plates in, there's rust in that arch. And like down here was just, I mean, it's full of Bondo for a start, or body filler. And there's like holes down there, the pockets on the inside, they're all holy as well. So yeah, that's our biggest rust problems. There's a couple of bits in the floor pan on the other side as well. Both sides sills need doing, and then loads of just random little patches.
So what are we going to do with the car, apart from fix it?
So super high level, I mean, yeah, number one thing, fix the rust.
Yeah.
Then I think we're going to cage it.
Yeah.
Because A, I've seen what happens to these in a crash. It's not pretty. And B, we're going to want to, I think we're going to do some time attack in this car.
Yeah.
Because it should be, with everything we've got planned, it should be pretty rapid. But it's my baby and I don't want to take it wheel to wheel racing and damage it.
So no drifting?
So no drifting.
Right.
No off-road drifting. So yeah, fix the rest, smash the cage in. Now, to be clear though, what we're doing here is really stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to build a road car, don't stick a stupid cage in it. Yeah, you don't want like scaffolding in the back.
You'll climb over every time you get in.
Climb over every time you get in, and like harnesses so you can't reach your radio, and stiff suspension rattling your fillings out. And if you want a race car, you don't want extra weight. You don't want. It's all about compromise.
Yeah, you don't want your seats, your back seats, or.
So bear in mind, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a car to ponce around in, look good, drive on the street, love life, but also take it racing. So it's gonna have all the safety gear. That's what we're doing, but just know. Don't recommend it.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
Unless it works.
Unless it works. But it's never going to work as good as a pure road car or a pure street track car. But it's what I want. So, but yeah, just bear in mind, it's stupid. It's going to cost way more money than doing it.
You're going to be moaning that your time isn't quick enough, and then you're going to be moaning when you're driving it on the road.
Yeah. I was going to moan. Yeah.
Just going to be moaning.
Now, we've got some pretty ambitious plans with this car, both in terms of getting it like track ready, making it fast, and also like some, like creature comforts and making it a bit more modern. We don't really have many of the skills to make that happen.
No, it's quite new for us, isn't it?
A lot of this is very new, but that's kind of the idea. So what we're going to take you with us and show you us tackling these new things.
And you can laugh at us.
Well, exactly. You can laugh at us, and either way, you're going to get something out of this. We're either going to end up with the car we want, which would be great, or like it'll all just fall apart and it'll look terrible and drive bad and cost us all the money. But at least then you'll know that's how not to do it.
Yeah, do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Or exactly the same.
Exactly. If it works, like you can't lose in this. Yeah. If it works, copy us. If it doesn't, stay well clear. So yeah, but that's the plan. We're going to take you with us as we tackle these things. We've got loads of big plans. So yeah, come along on our journey of learning.
Yes.
Follow the build. Wish us luck.
Watch us crash it.
Watch us crash. I'm not crashing it again.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. First drive out. This is amazing. It all actually worked. Everything we said about doubting rubbish. It's amazing.
Smash.
Dead. Not dead. That's savage.
Oh, yeah, that got dark.
Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Break Speed.
Yeah. See you later.